Hey everyone, welcome back. It feels like so long since I've just sat down and talked to the camera, so I always need to think about exactly what I'm going to say before I say it, and then it just turns into a ramble from there. Today is Wednesday, June 4th. I got home from a 3 week long trip on Sunday evening, and I wanted to come on here and document it all because it was challenging to go at the point of like my transformation and everything that I'm going through. But all in all, everything was a win, and I'm actually so happy with the outcome. So, wanted to document it all, share my wins, share my highs, share my lows, and have everything documented as I want it to be. If you see any movement in the background, it's Woodley. Okay, so right now the only people watching these videos are those that I'm like sharing the direct links with. So everybody that I speak to in these videos knows me and everything, but who knows, maybe one day these will be released to the public. So I will talk in general as if you don't know me. But I live in Florida, and every year my family takes a trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina. There's no direct flights from where I live. So the past 2 years I drove, and I decided to drive again this past year. It's about a 7.5 hour drive, but I stopped in Savannah and spent the night in Savannah. So it was about 6.5 hours because I picked up my friend from the airport the next day, and then we drove the last hour to Hilton Head together. So, actually, just to preface this entire trip, usually in the past, when I've been in my bad state, going on a trip was really stressful for me. It was about packing clothes that were going to fit. For years, every time I went on a vacation, I had to buy new clothes because a lot of the clothes that I bought for vacations from the year prior didn't fit anymore. So, I was always on the lookout for new clothes. Also, at the size that I have been for so long, it's really hard to find cute clothes, especially summer clothes that are comfortable, flattering, and actually fit my body. So that's always been a challenge for me and something I am so excited for in the future. I know it's going to make shopping harder because my options are going to be bigger, but I literally cannot wait to shop at the body and the weight that I am going to be at in hopefully very soon. On top of the clothing, there's the mentality of let me eat a little bit better before vacations because I'm wearing a bathing suit. But the truth is, before every vacation, I always binged because anytime I tried to restrict myself, I would go in the opposite direction, and it never worked out in the way that I wanted it to. So for many years, I felt like crap, looked like crap. Just vacations were not something I particularly looked forward to, minus the whole not working thing. But it's just the everyday stuff that I struggle with would almost be amplified while on vacation. On top of that, I'm living with my family, and I would always turn to food when I was stressed or overwhelmed or happy or sad or literally anything. So when I live alone, I would eat whenever I wanted. It didn't matter. When I was with other people, I felt like I couldn't eat the way that I wanted, and therefore it would lead to major binges when the vacation was over. I've also definitely snuck food here and there, just stuff that I kept in my own suitcase that I could quickly snack on because like it's like an addiction and I had to fuel it. Um, it's amazing this year that wasn't even an issue. Just to backtrack in case somebody's watching this as the first video, I've dealt with severe food addiction, severe depression, severe anxiety, binge eating, pretty much everything that led me to gain a lot of weight in my adult years. I've been dealing with this for the past 10 years, and more recently, I've been working with an NLP coach who has literally helped me change my life and guided me in a different direction. And ever since February of this year, I've completely changed my eating habits. That feeling of addiction has gone away, and I'm in control of myself, my brain, my body for what feels like the first time in my entire life. So going on this trip was a big deal. This was the first time I didn't need to buy new clothes because my clothes didn't fit. I actually just bought a few things because I wanted some new things for vacation, and then I was back in Jersey for 2 weeks. So I had a lot going on. I had a few events, I had a party, so I did do a little bit of shopping, but it wasn't out of necessity. It was because I wanted to. So fast forward, the first part of the trip is me driving to Savannah. It takes about 6.5 hours. I did it all in one night. And I was so proud of myself because I remember last year stopping at a gas station and deciding what it was that I was going to eat. And I bought, I think, like popcorn and chips and this like gross sandwich from the gas station and ate it the entire ride that I was driving. Last year I stopped in Jacksonville and stayed at my family friend's house, and I remember getting there and there was popcorn all over the floor of the car, and I was like, I hope nobody comes out to the car. And of course her husband came out to help me with my luggage, and I was just like horrified because I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna see what I was eating, as if I could hide that I was eating like crap when I was literally so overweight. But that's the binge eating life. But yeah, I remember last year just eating all of this crap and just stuffing myself with this food and then having food when I got to Hilton Head and trying to hide it. And it was just a nightmare. This year, it just wasn't even a thought. Like, all I needed were my protein shakes, water, and some Chomps meat sticks. And I was good. Like, I didn't think about food. I didn't need food. It wasn't even a thought to be chewing on something the entire time. I even remember my rides going back and forth in college from JMU to New Jersey. It was like 5.5, 6 hours, I think it was, and I would eat the whole time. I remember getting so much food just because it was like hours in the car and time to myself, and I could eat whatever I want. And I'm talking like everything from like pizza and mozzarella sticks to two Jimmy John subs that I would eat and house and then like find a sewer right before I got to my house and throw everything away. Horrible. But that's what I used to do when I would drive long car rides because it distracted me and I loved eating. So seriously, it's such a win to just hop in the car and go, and it's not even like a thought. All the like past memories are flooding back, but to me it just wasn't even an issue. It was just, all right, we're getting in the car, we're driving, you have your protein shake, your meat sticks, you're good to go. So I spent the night in Savannah. I had the entire next day to myself while I waited to pick my friend up from the airport. And despite living alone and being extremely independent, I don't think I've ever like sat at a restaurant by myself. I've never traveled by myself. I've never like gone out alone, like obviously errands and stuff like that, but like I've never like gone and sat somewhere and done like a touristy thing alone. I mean, I walk around like my downtown area here all the time, but like I haven't traveled alone. So, in addition to getting rid of the food addiction and the binge eating, I've also been working with removing some of the feelings of anxiety that I have also experienced for literally like 15 years. I've dealt with anxiety that has been so crippling that it would keep me home from work. It would prevent me from getting on public transportation to go places that I needed, prevented me from going out so many times. It has truly affected my life in so many ways. So that's why it's really important for me to work on that as well, in addition to all of the food stuff. So, luckily, during a session I had right before I left for this trip, we worked on a lot of the anxiety stuff. It's actually something we never really touched before, and I felt an immediate difference. The food stuff took months to finally kick in. This kind of happened to me right away, and it was unbelievable. After being in the car for so long throughout the entire afternoon and into the night, I knew I had to take my dog Woodley out walking. He was with me. And that's usually something I would never be comfortable doing, especially in a town that I don't really know. Luckily, I was in Savannah like a couple years ago, and the hotel I stayed at happened to be right near some bars where we were. So it ended up being familiar. But I actually really had to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone to go and take that walk at night, especially too. It was a little bit creepy. But that was like my first like realization that I was different on this trip. There weren't many anxiety feelings around just going out and like exploring this new area, even though it was at night and even though it was short. I extended my walk longer. There were a ton of people out. It felt really nice and safe, but like that's so not something that I probably would have done in the past. And that's sad to think about. Anyways, it's the next morning. I have to entertain myself until about 3 o'clock. So I'm deciding what to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take myself out to lunch. I have never done that before. And I got a recommendation from the concierge at the hotel. The restaurant was literally like 5-minute walk away. Went, sat outside, enjoyed a beautiful brunch by myself. Widley got some scrambled eggs, so he was very happy. And I just sat and watched the world go by. One thing I will say about Savannah is it is freaking hot. And I live in Florida, and I was talking to the man who was helping me valet my car, and he was like, there's a different type of humidity here. It's a swampy humidity. Like, I couldn't even sit outside for much longer. I kind of walked around a little bit. I wanted to go on this like boat that went on the river, but I didn't have enough time. So I ended up just sitting in the lobby of my hotel until it was time to leave. But I just couldn't believe how hot it was. Anyways, I'm trying not to cover every single detail about things that are irrelevant, but I'm also trying to think of all the wins that I had along the way. So I get to the point. Anyways, Hilton, excuse me, Zevia is literally the best if you've never had it. What I was saying, Hilton Head, where we go, is amazing because it's condos that we stay in. They're timeshares that we rent out. So 2 bedrooms, kitchen, living room, laundry room, all the works. But the best part is having a kitchen because we can order the food and bring the food that we want. So we just place like a massive grocery order every year and we're fully stocked for the week. So I mentioned earlier that I have dealt with this addiction for 10 years, but something that recently came up was I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've known that I've had an issue hormonally for many years. I finally got the diagnosis and it's changed my life. I have read a lot of books on this so far. Everybody's body is very different. What works best for me is that I'm supposed to eat protein within the first hour of waking up to kick things off, to get things going. And like, I'm talking like 30 or 40 grams of protein. So a lot of protein. And that is a habit that I got into while I was still here in Florida before I left for the trip. And I had my hesitations about, and I was a little nervous if I would hit these goals when I got to Hilton Head. And I'm not going to say I was perfect, but I definitely did my best. And I was really proud of myself. So I just brought my protein shakes with me. We got the meat sticks. We had eggs, turkey, bacon, sausage, all the proteins you can have for breakfast. And I do have to force myself to eat pretty early because I'm usually not really that hungry in the morning. But it worked. I was satiated. All was good. Then typically we will go to the pool and hang out and then come back and make our lunch. For lunch, I was eating high protein again, whether it was like turkey slices with salami and pepperoni or I had miracle noodles. I had a little bit of everything while I was there. I don't even remember what I fully ate, but like I know it was protein. And for dinner, we typically grill. So again, even more protein and vegetables and all is good there. So from like an eating perspective, I was so proud of myself that I was able to maintain this. I didn't eat just because everybody else was eating. I still followed my own schedule, which is going to be a little bit different than everybody else's. But I felt really good that I was able to maintain it. We had so many meals for dinner that my meal came with mashed potatoes or rice, and I just asked for extra vegetables. And in the past, it would like kill me to do that. And this just wasn't a problem. It's just that's what I'm eating right now. It's not forever. In the future, I'll have mashed potatoes with my braised short rib at the steakhouse in Hilton Head. But this year, that just wasn't happening, and that's fine. Like I didn't need it, and it was all good. Side note, if you do go to that steakhouse in Hilton Head, get that braised short rib. It was so good. I don't know what that was, and I'm not going to edit it out, so you can just laugh at me. That's fine. So at the place that we stay at, they have a bunch of pools, and there's this poolside bar that also serves food. And every year we would get like French fries or just snack on something during happy hour. And again, it just wasn't even a thought to do that. And I was just so proud of myself. The one thing I did do that I'm not like mad at any behavior that I had, but it was just different than what I've been experiencing the past like couple weeks before that. I haven't drank in a really long time. I mean, I kind of would have like a drink here and there with friends, but like very rarely. That was just and by nature, just because what I was doing, I was restricting what I was eating, therefore also what I was drinking. Also, I shouldn't have said the word restricted. You get what I'm saying. I just haven't drank a lot. But on vacation, it's vacation. So I enjoyed myself and I drank every single night. I actually felt pretty good. I didn't really have any hangovers, but obviously alcohol turns. Okay, I just got cut off by my alarm and I turned the volume down on the microphone, so I hope things are better now. What I was trying to say is I didn't feel that much different with drinking, which was a good thing. I think I noticed like my face was a little bit puffier, but like big whoop. The last day I ordered a Miami Vice, I was just craving like a frozen drink. It honestly didn't taste that good. So not worth it. All the sugar kind of made me feel like crap. So stuff like that I'd probably leave off in the future. But everything else that I did, I was very happy with. And overall, just like, again, really proud of myself for going on a vacation and just sticking with it. So the whole time I'm thinking, have I lost weight on this trip? Did I gain weight on this trip? Like I really didn't know, but I was trying to block that out of my head because trust me, weight is everything, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm really focusing on my health because when it comes down to it, that's what is going to end up helping to reduce the weight. But obviously, you think about the weight because that's just such a huge thing. It's the physical thing. That's like everything to me, but I'm really focusing on just fixing my health. So I didn't really think too much about the weight, but it definitely was in the back of my mind. Like if I was gaining or losing, but it doesn't matter because whatever happens, happens. I'll take care of it when I get home or back to New Jersey. So from Hilton Head, we were supposed to fly up to New Jersey. It was during the whole Newark and the air traffic controller debacle. So our flight was canceled. So we ended up driving back to New Jersey from South Carolina. It's usually like a 12, 13-hour drive. We broke it up into 2 days because they delayed our flight, canceled it at like 3:30 p.m. And we were like, let's just get in the car and drive north. So that's what we did. Again, another long car ride for me, which usually would mean snacks on snacks on snacks. But this time, had meat sticks, had my nuts. We ended up like nuts, like, like salted nuts. We ended up stopping surprisingly at Chick-fil-A on our way home because we saw this TikTok hack where you get the kale salad and grilled nuggets and some of the sauces. It was so good, actually, like really good. So that was another thing too, is like going to a fast food restaurant, which my family does not do. Going to a fast food restaurant and getting like the healthy alternative there. That was pretty cool. And like my sister got fries. I had no desire to get fries. It was just amazing. Like I still can't get over that. Like this is how I am right now. So this is on Friday. So Friday night, stayed in a hotel somewhere in Virginia, and then we drove the rest of the way north on Saturday morning. Again, I'm not thinking about food. Usually in the past, I'd be thinking about it, like stopping and getting something. I don't even know, like a breakfast sandwich or so. I don't. It's just something like juicy and good for breakfast because we're gonna be sitting in the car for 6 hours. So satiate with food. And that was just like not even a thought that was on my mind, which was amazing. We did stop at Chipotle for lunch, and this is the first time I've been to Chipotle since I've changed up what I've been eating. And I just got like a meat bowl. I literally got the barbacoa and the chicken and some guac and tomatoes and lettuce, and it was good. I mean, good, not great. Chipotle got hella expensive though. Like I got double meat on both meats, but like still, like I didn't get rice, I didn't get beans, I didn't get so much other crap. Like lower the price, Chipotle, ridiculous. Anyways, I also just want to point out the fact of like how good I'm feeling. Not just like happy with like everything going on around me, but like physically feeling good because for so long I felt sick every single day of my life. And I think a lot of that is attributed to the crappy food that I was eating, but also to my hormone imbalances that I was dealing with. And since working on the PCOS stuff, I've really made like a huge change. Like I'm not crashing in the afternoons anymore. I feel a lot more energetic. I felt so good. So to do something so crazy for me, somebody who wouldn't leave their house for weeks at a time, like doing so many things over a couple days is like crazy to even think about. So this was a really big deal for I think anybody, but for me, this felt incredible. So Saturday morning, we finished up the rest of the drive, drove to the Jersey Shore, dropped my parents there, changed, hung out for a second. Then we had to drop the rental car off at Newark Airport, pick up my sister's car that was there from when my parents and my sister flew down, take the car, go to my sister's apartment in Hoboken, eat dinner, change, get ready, and go out to celebrate my friend's birthday in New York City. So already crazy for me, but just to backtrack a little bit to give more context to the food situation. So I knew we were going out. I needed something of substance. I love the food in Hoboken. It's where I used to live for 6 years. It's where I gained most of my weight. And it was hard to decide like what I was going to get. Not hard from like choosing the bad food or the good food, but hard because I needed something substantial. We were going out and drinking, but also still trying to work on, limiting certain foods. Not even work on, I am. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm kind of just rambling. But anyways, we landed on the sushi restaurant. I got sashimi and then I got some chicken teriyaki. And these are the moments where I get really proud of myself because it came with white rice. I did not eat the rice. That is something that I was like so proud of myself for. Now, what I did do was like I had a few little bites of it if it was like in the sauce with the chicken. And that's all I needed, like a few bites instead of eating the entire thing of rice. That's balance. That is allowing myself to have the foods that I want, not feeling like I'm completely restricted, but also making sure that I'm just not eating too much of it right now while we are in a fat release stage. Felt good, felt really good after we were drinking a little bit in the city. Such a fun night. Came back to my sister's apartment, and this is when the discussion over gluten-free mozzarella sticks sparked. So my sister's gluten-free and dairy-free for legitimate health reasons. I'm just doing it right now to avoid those types of foods. And I haven't had like a gluten-free alternative food since I started this whole change in what I've been eating. But I did tell myself this is probably something we are going to do. And I was okay with it because it's still like following my protocol of what I'm eating. But also, like, again, it's all about balance and like control. So we order the gluten-free mozzarella sticks and then a vegan gluten-free pizza. It's so funny, all these restrictions, but I love this restaurant. They used to have gluten-free everything. I used to order from them all the time, and I used to order everything on the menu at once. But I was so proud of myself because I literally ate two of the gluten-free vegan mozzarella sticks and one of these small, tiny personal slices of the small, tiny personal pizza. So again, I still had those things. And at first, I'm like, am I going to regret this? Am I mad at myself? Am I breaking my protocol? Not at all. Like, it taught me so much more that I can do these things and I can have balance and I can still enjoy food and life. And if I didn't have them, I probably would be thinking about it and obsess over it. But I did. I allowed myself these little treats that make me feel like I'm not restricting myself and I'm just enjoying my day to day. So the next day I woke up with a teensy bit of a little hangover. So it was a little bit of a low key day. We went out for lunch, me and my sister. Then I went to North Jersey, met my friend's baby. I can't believe my friends are having babies. It's crazy, but she was so cute. But then I had to go into New York City because I was going into work the next day, and I do not commute from New Jersey to New York. It's a whole thing. Explain that another day, but I have to sleep in the city if I'm going to be in the city. For work the next day. So I stayed at my cousin's, who lives in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Now, again, the conversation is around food and what we're going to eat. And I ended up leaving my friends at like 6 o'clock. And despite it being like literally like 10 miles away from my friend's house to my cousin's apartment, it took me almost 2 hours because that's New York City for you. So Stephanie, my cousin, ordered us some good old chicken picadas, no flour, just made with egg, this delicious lemon butter sauce, and 5 pieces of asparagus for $16. Anyways, I'm just proud of the decisions I made because that could have easily been just a quick pizza or a pasta or something that's easier and cheaper, but still choosing the better options. So I slept there, went to my office the next day. I made sure I was prepared with my breakfast. I always have like a banana, I had a bar. I get so hungry when I wake up so early to go into the office. So I just want to make sure I'm prepared. And I was. For lunch, I went to Whole Foods. I made myself my own salad. It was perfect. It was easy, expensive as hell, but worth it. I ended up driving home to the shore, the Jersey Shore, from New York City that evening. Now, usually I probably would have gotten a slice or two of pizza before leaving or grabbed some sort of crap food to eat for my ride home. And then when I get home, say I'm not that hungry, or maybe pick up Jersey Mike's or something. That's what I've done in the past. No desire to do that. Wasn't even a second thought. I'm just thinking about it now as I go through everything. So I asked my mom to make me dinner, and it was ready by the time I got home. Some like good ground turkey and asparagus. And again, so proud of myself in this moment. So I spent the next week at the shore cooking my own meals, eating what my mom prepared, usually I'm always like, let's order in, let's get sushi or something because my mom makes really healthy food and I've never been interested in that in the past. And now I am interested in that. So it was a whole turn. I will say, being at the shore, we're trying to figure it out. I don't know if I got really bad allergies this year, if there was mold in the house, but I just really did not feel good. Maybe I was run down from just going nonstop, but it feels like every time I step into the shore house, I don't feel that great. So trying to work on that. So my like physical activity when I was there was significantly lower than it's been here. Like my parents would take Woodley out on walks. I wouldn't do that. I hate walking around that neighborhood. It just is not. I love my Palm Beach area down here. It's just beautiful and pretty, and that neighborhood just isn't so much so nice to walk around. So definitely had some low physical activity there, but it was really because I just didn't feel that great, and I don't know, not thrilled walking over there. That weekend was Memorial Day weekend, so it's a lot of people over, it's a lot of food that's out. I'd say the only thing that I had that I typically wouldn't have in the past, or that I wouldn't have had over the past couple of weeks, was some cheese. There was some like fresh cheese cubes and fresh mozzarella, and I love me some cheese. So I did have some of that like Saturday and a little bit on Sunday. It is what it is. I was like thinking about it, like, do I really need this? Do I really want it? I'm like, enjoy it. Like, have a couple pieces. Who cares? It's just such a different mentality when you think of it like that. And I was so proud of myself because usually if I ate something that was like off my diet or something I was restricting from, then I would be like, all right, well, I give up. I already, destroyed my diet. So I might as well go crazy the next day. And then that would continue, continue, continue. And then we end up, at the weight that I was at. So I was just really happy that I was able to enjoy a couple pieces of cheese and then just stop and not worry about spiraling out of control after that. We also went out for dinner on Friday night, and my favorite food in the world is crispy rice with the fresh tuna on top and like spicy mayo, whatever. We decided to order it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have one with the rice, and then the rest I'll just scrape the rice off or scrape the tuna off and just eat the tuna. And that's what I did. I was satisfied. And I was like thinking about it for the next couple days, like how proud of myself I was for having that and enjoying it because I love that food so much. And I didn't, if I, same thing with the mozzarella sticks. If I didn't have the rice, I'd be thinking about it. And if I did eat all of it, I would have been mad at myself. So this was a perfect in between. I literally had one and then the rest was the tuna, and it was so good. And then lastly, on Sunday night, we went out. We were drinking all day and all night, and everybody that we were with, two people that we were with, had a slice of Jersey Shore za pizza at the end of the night. And let me tell you, that shit looked so good. I mean, there is nothing better than drunk boardwalk pizza. But I didn't need it. It was not a big deal. I was able to come home. I think that was the night that I had the fresh mozzarella for the first time. So I had some fresh mozz. It was pretty damn good. But I will say I do miss some Jersey za. But I don't feel restricted for not having it. I don't feel like I was, I feel good. We're all good. So a couple other wins to sort of wrap this up. So a few things. One, there is a scale upstairs in my parents' bathroom. I stay on the first floor, so I don't always go upstairs. I would avoid going upstairs like the plague because stairs were really hard for me at my previous weight. And now I was able to walk up and not be out of breath after one flight. And that's how it used to be. I was able to go up to the second floor because there's the third floor with the second flight of stairs and not be out of breath, which again was such a game changer for me. The last time I weighed myself on that scale, I looked down and I couldn't see the scale because my stomach and my boobs were blocking it. This time I could see what I weighed. I weighed about 55 pounds less than I did the last time I weighed myself on that scale in November of 2024. And this was May 2025. So that was pretty epic. Another big win, having clothes that I like to wear. That was a big thing. Went out Memorial Day weekend, went out every single night, always had something that I like to wear. Love that. That is like the biggest challenge for me. That is the reason that I would not go out half the time, is because I did not like what I was wearing and I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. Another win, I went into the city for a concert. This usually would cause me severe anxiety and panic, and it was so chill and easy. Took the ferry in, stayed at a hotel, went to the concert. It was downpouring the whole time. We were soaking wet. stayed at the hotel that night. That would have been an amazing opportunity for me to order so much food. I did look at an Uber Eats menu prior to the concert because I thought maybe I would have something and treat myself when I got back. And I hardly ate dinner. And by the time I got back, I was like, I don't even need food. I don't need something. That was a big win. There's probably other stuff that I'm forgetting, but overall, I am so grateful for the trip because despite me being nervous about it, it ended up working out really well. In terms of like actual weight, it's funny when I weighed myself when I got to Jersey after being in Hilton Head, I weighed 1 pound more than I did the day I left for Hilton Head. Then a couple days later, I weighed 1 pound less than what I did when I left for Hilton Head. So I always joke that like, oh, when I like gain a weight, like it's just water weight. It's like it's not weight. It's water, inflammation, whatever. But when I lose a pound, it's me losing weight. But so I guess for all intent and purposes, is that this all intensive purposes, all intent for all intent, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. I stayed the same weight. And that is the most incredible thing. I was away from my house for 3 weeks, out of my routine, not consistently taking my vitamins, definitely not having protein first thing in the morning as much as I should have, eating a little bit differently than I was before I left. And I stayed the same weight. I was not focused on losing weight when I was there. I'm just so proud of myself for sticking with everything that I needed to and like just I don't know, being healthy. Like that's freaking crazy. And it's funny because usually when I leave these vacations, whether it's a weekend or a night away with people or 3 weeks, all I want to do is get back to where I live so I can eat. I'm thinking about what I'm going to order, what's going to be the first thing. I'm already putting things in my grocery shopping cart so that they're there by the time I get back. Like, doesn't matter what time I land. Like, I'm going to order food or I'm going to find crap and eat, even if I'm not hungry, because finally I'm free and I'm alone and I can do what I want. Um, and that just wasn't even a thought for me this time. I was actually excited to get back into my routine and eat less. Like that's what I was focused on. So, pretty different mindset from the last time I was home back in Jersey 5 months ago. It's really unbelievable. And now we're back in West Palm Beach. We're in a really good space. I came home. I didn't even like order groceries. I kind of got like a few little things here and there. Within 2 days of me being home, I dropped more pounds. And not only that, I got under a massive goal that I've been looking forward to getting under for a very long time. I still haven't really discussed my exact weight yet, and I don't know when I will do that. It'll probably be in the future, but I will say I was tracking my weight in zones, and the zone that I was in, I was writing my weight down on my iPad in red pen, and the weight that I just got into, the new zone, is in orange. So I got out of the red zone. I'm so happy. I had two shades of red. I had a really dark red, and then I had a little bit of a lighter red. And let's just say I am thrilled to be out of the red zone. And when I was like documenting this in my journal yesterday, I'm like, oh my God, out of the red. Is that going to be the name of my future book? Like out of the red zone. I have red hair. I don't know, something with red. Like there's something there. Anyways, this one was a lot longer and than my other videos, but that's okay because these videos I really record for myself. But hopefully other people are watching these and just get a glimpse of like what I've gone through and what goes through my head. I tell people it's easier for me to talk to my phone than it is to talk to other people sometimes because I am a lot more vulnerable and open and honest on here. So it's a lot easier for me to be like, here, let me send you the link and these are exactly my thoughts. So that's what I do. But all in all, just really happy to be back. It was a successful trip. Now we're back in the groove of things. It is June 4th. My 30th birthday is June 23rd. And I never set any weight goals for myself throughout this journey. But the one goal that I did set was on my birthday, I want to take a picture of myself that I do like. And I will say I took a lot of pictures this past weekend just because I had a bunch of events and I've avoided pictures for a couple of years now. Like, didn't want to be in them. Don't put me in the background of your videos. And I was so willing to be in these pictures because I was excited to like see what I look like. And while I'm not like 100% thrilled, I'm much happier than where I was. And I keep joking around, like, prepare to be sick of me when I like what I look like in pictures, because it is going to be insufferable. I'm going to be in every picture. I'm going to post every picture because I have spent so many years hiding from the camera. So my goal by my 23rd birthday, or by my 30th birthday on June 23rd, is to take a picture of myself that I actually like. Whether I hit that goal or not, I really don't care, because I am improving so significantly and there is really no timeline for hitting goals. It was just a pretty open ended one. But either way, I'm thrilled with where I'm at. I cannot believe I'm going to be 30. 30 is going to be my best year yet, best decade. I spent my 20s absolutely miserable in hell, and now is the time where I get to thrive, and I'm so excited. And more importantly, help others go through, not go through what I went through, help others know that they're not alone. Somebody else is going through or has gone through what they are experiencing, and there is another side. And I hope to be that person, to just be a guidance. And I don't know, I got to figure out what I want to do with my future and how I'm going to pivot this all to helping people. But thank you for watching. This was a much longer one, but I will see you on the next one. Bye.